Hey, yo, what's up, guys? It's been a few days. How's everybody doing? So, basically, what happened after my AC, as you can probably hear, I should probably turn that down. What you can probably hear is that my AC is working, but if I, turn off my truck, go inside, find out that I have to go somewhere else real quick, my AC won't work. It basically has to sit for like 8 hours before it decides to work again. The day after, because I only tested it out to see if it worked, and it didn't, it decided that on my way to drop off my girlfriend and my son at her parents' before I headed to work, something smelled very hot. I checked, and turns out that my blower motor decided to get super hot, so it almost caught fire. That was great. I forgot to, whenever I did my oil change and I had my pan, I put it in the bed of my truck. That way I could take it to the to AutoZone so I can get it out. I don't drive necessarily the nicest. It hit every single wall side of the bed of my truck, and the cap came off. That was great. There's oil all over the bed of my truck. It was leaking. I noticed it probably about 2 days after it happened. I'm pretty positive of, because it was very empty, and like I said, the bed of my truck was just caked in oil. Also, the only reason I really decided to start recording again today was because I got a call from my mom seeing if I was home from work yet. That was a few hours ago. I'm on my way home now. And because she asked me if I could bring them their insurance cards for the vehicles, because apparently they have to have proof of insurance so my dad could buy a new truck. And I'm almost home now. I'm probably about like a good 10 minutes away at most. So we'll be able to see what he got. I know what he got, but I kind of want to just keep it a little bit of a surprise. It was a surprise to me when my mom told me what vehicle he got, because he's always been a Ford guy, and he had a 2011 Ford F-150 with the 6.2 liter V8 Raptor motor. Thing was great. It was awesome. It was a limited. It looked really nice, but it was getting a little bit older, so it probably started getting quite a few problems. I mean, my 2015 is now full of problems. Also, I forgot about that. My check engine light came on the day after. Whenever I got home, and we ended up having to go out to the grocery store, the check engine light came on the day after I changed my blower motor. I'm like, that's a little bit weird. I don't know why changing a blower motor would cause my check engine light to run, especially, almost about 24 hours after I changed it. Turns out it wasn't the blower motor. That was cool. It is off. I didn't delete the code, but my engine was running lean. That's great. So I drove around with it for like 2 days, because I only have like a cheap little $20 AutoZone computer, just so I can carry it around with me everywhere I go, just so I can at least see what the issue, like what's causing the check engine light, not necessarily see exactly what's wrong, because I'm not about to spend like $1,000, $2,000 on a computer when my dad and my brother are already in possession of one. So that day, I let my brother know that my engine was running lean, and he said to bring it over. He was going to have the computer at the house. I'm like, all right. I got home. I was dead tired. So I ended up falling asleep. And then the next day after that, no check engine light. I think I got scared. My brother thinks that it was just a bad O2 sensor. That's what I was thinking too. I thought it might have been maybe because of the headers, because they're not fully tightened. Because my brother, whenever he was tightening up the bolts, his hand kept on hitting against the engine, or kept hitting against something. So he said, screw this, we'll do it another time. So I've had kind of just like a like, not exactly like that, but that kind of sound along those lines from my engine, from the headers, since we did that like 6 months ago, and it hasn't caused me an issue, so I haven't really wanted to do it. But my brother said that was not the reason why. I figured that maybe it became a little bit more loose and was letting more air in, causing my engine to run a little bit more lean, because then the air fuel mixture would be off. But yeah, I guess that doesn't make any sense now that I'm thinking of it, because that would be exhaust fumes. I don't know. I'm not the professional. I'm just I'm more, my buddies and I are more backyard mechanics. Well, my other buddy and I are the third buddy, Xavier. He doesn't know much. Like, I mean, I don't know much, but I know enough to get me by. I know how to do basically the right amount of stuff that anybody should know, and then maybe a little bit more, because I've picked up a few things here and there from my dad and my brother. Then my other buddy used to do mechanic work on the side for people, so he knows quite a bit. Does he know how to do it the right way? I'm sorry, Zack. There are some things where I kind of question you. Like, don't get me wrong, you probably know a good amount more than I do, but you do some questionable stuff. But other than that, yeah, it's nothing new. I want to go to the store at some point. It's called 4 Wheel Parts. It just recently opened up, not even like a month ago. I want to check it out, because apparently they have a storefront, and it's not just a garage or like a distribution center or anything. Apparently you can actually go in there, and if you want them to install a part you bought, then you can do that as well. They have a shop for that. I want to go to more car shows, be able to record some more. I want to be able to record around car shows and everything, just like kind of showing it off. There's a bunch going on here soon, but they're more Halloween based, and they're basically centered around trunk or treats / car shows. I eventually want to host my own. I know about 3 or 4 people that actually have some pretty nice cars, and then I know somebody else who just recently sold theirs, sadly, but his girlfriend still has hers. I mean, wife, my bad. They did recently get, well, not recently, probably within the last like year or two, they got married. There's this Chevy truck right here that thought that he could get in the other lane and pass me. I don't roll that way. I already there's a cop that's probably just staring at us. Yeah, see, he thought he could. You can't outrun the Ram. Not in your Chevy. Come on. Because we were going by the sheriff's office, and we were only going like 5 over the speed limit. But that's besides the point. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, that basically concludes the update vlog. That's just basically everything that's been happening recently with my truck. Still need new tires. Still need to get spark plugs. Because apparently, like most spark plugs, you want to replace every like 75,000 miles at most. Apparently with the Ram, they want you to replace them at like 100,000 miles. Generally, I replace them every single time I think about them. It's been about 30,000 miles have passed. It's happened like 3 different times, so it means something, I guess. But every single time I've realized it, because I've always jotted it down. Like when I had my Accord, I would jot it down when I would do certain things, like my oil change, tires replaced, fuel flush, transmission flush, coolant flush, everything. I jot down when I did it and how many miles I had, just to be able to keep track of it. And it's been about 30,000 miles, and then I've had this truck for almost 30,000 now. It's like 28 about, and I thought of it like maybe a few hundred miles ago, so it's roughly 30,000. But yeah, so basically, again, and my brother's still going to check what my issue was, because it'll tell his computer will tell him even codes that have disappeared. So even if you don't have a check engine light anymore, it'll tell you every single code that's been stored, because it's an actual computer. So we're going to check that out, because maybe it might be an issue in the future again, so I can do some preventative maintenance for it, because if your engine runs lean, that's bad for it. It can cause some major issues down the line, especially since I have a Hemi. Hemi tick is a very, very reasonable issue to be concerned about. I do want to get probably a stage 2, but I heard if you go above a stage 1 camshaft, and I want to get non-MDS, so I don't have to worry about Hemi tick ever again. But if you go above a stage 1, apparently you have to change out one part. I forget what it was. I was told like a year ago, because I was talking to this one guy who did basically a stage 3.9, because it's practically a stage 4, but they still call it a stage 3. So I told him so it might as well just be a stage 3.9. And he was like, yeah, basically. And he had to replace that same thing in his Camaro. But yeah. So basically, that's just, I know I said this a few times, but now I'm almost home. Like, I'm literally just turned down this street and turned down my street, and I'm just a couple houses in. So that's everything that's been happening, everything that I plan on happening here in the near future. So peace out. I'll see you in the next vlog. And we're out of here.